Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Soul Standing. My name is Beth, and I'm here to talk to you about A Simple Favor by Darcy Bell. I have not finished it yet. I'm on page 180, so I've got about 110 pages, 115 pages left. I, I don't know if I'm going to finish it. Um, I should. I should finish it. It's not that I want to DNF it. It's just that it's a very weird book. And I feel like this is a book where the story is super interesting to me, but the way it's presented, I feel like the movie I would probably enjoy more. And I had intended to read this and then watch the movie, and I'm still intending to watch the movie whether or not I finish this. But the way it's written, so if you have not read the book, you've just seen the movie, or you haven't read the book or watched the movie, what's going on is that we start out with two moms. And the narration is coming from Stephanie, who is a single mom of a 5-year-old son named Miles. And then, like, we find out that her husband passed away like 3 years ago, and she's a mom blogger, uh, but like she doesn't do it for profit. She just, blogs, and she's a stay-at-home mom because they had enough life insurance on her husband when he ended up passing away that she's able to live fairly comfortably. Now, Miles has a best friend named Nikki that's in his kindergarten class, and Nikki's mom, Emily, becomes friends with Stephanie. And Emily is very vivacious. She works for a fashion company. She drops Nikki off at school and then heads into the city to um, to work her high fashion job. She is married. Her husband, Sean, I'm not sure what he does, something in the financial sector. They mention, both of them mention they're still not quite sure what he does. Um, but he goes on a lot of business trips, etc. But Emily and Stephanie have become close, and the boys are best friends. So, like, they'll share pickup duties. They'll, spend the night at each other's houses. Stephanie often watches Nikki so that Emily and Sean can go away for the weekend, or Emily's got a trip to do and Sean's not home, whatever. And Emily will always say, like, it's just a simple favor. Like, can you do me a simple favor and pick Nikki up? Well, then Emily goes missing. She called Stephanie and said, hey, will you do me a simple favor? Can you pick Nikki up from school? Let him hang out with y'all. I'll be home before bedtime. Um, she never shows up. Stephanie becomes frantic because her best friend was, supposed to come home, pick up her kid. They were supposed to have a bottle of wine, whatever. Um, she becomes frantic after a couple of days of Emily not showing up. She's been trying to call work, and they're like, oh, she's on a business trip. She ends up finding Sean's number, calls Sean. He's like, she said she was going away for 4 or 5 days. And the maid at Emily's house was like, oh no, she said she was going away for a couple of days on a business trip. So basically, Stephanie was the only one that didn't know. Okay. Then Emily just doesn't come home. A body is found. She is declared dead. There will be spoilers. I'm sorry. Um, anyway, um, basically, the cops are called. A body is found. Um, and it is suspected that Emily passed away. There were some jewelry pieces that were found with that body that is indicating that it was Emily that passed away. Um, so now Stephanie and Sean are trying to help their Nikki. Stephanie's trying to help Sean and Nikki grieve. The Sean and Stephanie, start hooking up. And then all of a sudden, it switches from Stephanie's perspective, which there are some things I won't go full spoiler and tell you, like, but when she's talking about her husband and half brother passing away, there are some things that are like a theme running through that are taboo and weird, and like that caught me off guard big time. Um, but basically, they were in a car accident. They were riding in a car together. They were in a car accident. Both passed away. And so there's this theme of like people she loves passes away, plus some taboo, very weird things that, can't be put on the blog because you have this persona you have to do. So we get to part 2, and all of a sudden, the very first chapter in part 2 is Emily. Emily ain't dead. No. Emily is playing this weird cat and mouse game because she got bored. She talks about how ever since she was a kid, she would, get bored, and she just have this boredom come over her, and she'd know that she had to do something, but she'd been ignoring it. So instead of little small things, it's a big thing now. So she disappeared. I almost cussed. She disappeared, leaving her husband and 5-year-old son to mourn her death, and is now back and ticked off because in that mourning period, her husband leaned on her best friend. So now they're hooking up and living together in her house, and like the boys are being treated as brothers and whatever, and now she's mad because she just wants her son back. She's mad that her husband's stupid enough to like go with that vapid house mother. Yeah, there's 100 pages of this left, and I'm thinking that it's just gonna get weirder. So I'm really not sure. I'm gonna try to finish it, and that's my review for this. If I finish it, well, even at this point, I have 100 pages left out of 300. So I've read almost 200 pages. So I would feel solid in giving this a 3-star, even if I DNF'd it, because it's a low 3-star, but it's not like terrible. It's just weird. And I love psychological thrillers. I think this is maybe one that I would be able to connect better with in the movie, like I said. You can consider this my review for the book. I will, whether or not I finish the book, it's a low 3-star for me, and I probably will not be coming back on and telling you about like the last 100 pages, because that's where all the things are going to happen. So yeah, if you've read this book or watched the movie, let me know what you thought of it. Am I the weird one? I mean, I know I'm weird, but I don't think that in this instance I am the weird one. However, it's popular enough that they made a movie out of it. So I don't know. I don't know. That's my mantra right now. I don't know. All right, guys, I hope that you have a great day. I'm going to set this one aside for a little while and pick up one of the other 3 that I have waiting for the month. Then I think maybe taking a break from it, I can come back and finish strong. I don't know. But either way, I hope you're having a great day and a fabulous week. I will talk to you again soon. Until then, please stay safe.